particularly considering the time that it has taken them to get this report out. Let me say that this Senate, or let me say the National Assembly, I think we have both the yam and the knife in our hand here. The picture that is painted here, yes, it may look gloomy, but truly, if we do what we should do, which is what we are doing now, I think we will cross that Rubicon that we have all envisaged and what we are all clamoring for. When you look at all the numbers, you will discover that they negate all accounting postulates. And unfortunately, when you look at the cost, the expenditure side, you will discover that once it is probably 1 billion this year or 1 trillion this year, it will keep increasing. Whereas the revenue side will be decreasing. So you ask yourself, why is it that on the expenditure side, the thing keeps increasing? And on the revenue side, we should accommodate all the shocks coming from the expenditure side, they will be decreasing. Then there's a problem. Because if you look from 30 down, all of those indices, you will see that our revenue was going down. And I know that if you look at the corresponding expenditure, you will discover that they are going up. I listened to Senator Susan saying that our debt profile is on the increase or it's probably rising. Yes, I agree. But debt on its own is not the problem. One, if you look at even our debt and GDP ratio, even what you said, 19 going to 25, I don't think it's bad in itself. No, it is not. It is not. Indeed, having deficit budget is not a bad thing in itself. If you look at the states in Nigeria today, the state that is most indebted is Lagos State. Yes, but equally, the state that generates more than anybody else is Lagos State. So clearly, what one should do is to make sure that, yes, as you are now going ahead and increasing your expenditure, you must now increase in maybe 2, 3, 4-fold your revenue, which is what is lacking as a nation, which is what we are doing. And I'm happy that this is not praising this administration, but we must say it. Just this morning, there was a motion on pirate attack, and I heard that for 17 years, the Port Harcourt to Bonny bridge, it's been left there undone. Indeed, in 2003, we went to Bonny from Port Harcourt. I couldn't come back. I have to get a chopper to take me back from Bonny back to Port Harcourt. And people live there every day. The enabler of any development of any economy is infrastructure. So I am happy that for once we are facing this infrastructure squarely. If you look at today, you will see that the second Niger bridge is receiving attention. The Bonny bridge that she's talking about is receiving attention. Yes, we are saying that, yes, we need to probably increase the funding. But where will the funding come from if we do not increase the revenue that we are generating? I realize that we have about 1.7 trillion. With what we saw in this report, custom is generating even more than what they budgeted for. So clearly, we make some savings there. That savings will reduce whatever shortfall that we have. And I know, and I'm happy the way Mr. President spoke just yesterday, we dwelt on it, that we cannot continue to be here and not correct this production sharing contract with our IOC. That's a cash is there. Some people are just smiling to the bank with the money. And Nigeria is suffering. So we must expedite action on that and make sure that we quickly right this wrong. And of course, the PIB, as all of those must be sorted out. And there's one thing that we are not talking about, and we are talking about it, but we should probably dwell more on it, and that is diversification of this, our economy. There are nations there, they don't have oil. What they generate, just yesterday I was reading that the governor of, was it Zamfara or somewhere, said that even a loan, Zamfara, a loan on mining, can generate in excess of maybe $400 million every year. It's a fact. We should look into those areas which will give Nigeria that advantage, and we should get out of this monolithic economy that Nigeria is presently. If you look at the numbers here, you will discover that over 50% of all our revenue still comes from oil. And the foreign exchange is about almost even 90% of all that foreign exchange that we generate. So clearly it tells us that something is wrong with our economy. But I'm happy. The enabler, if you look at whatever indices, researches, empirical, you will discover that the enabler of any development is infrastructures. Infrastructure will not just be about, it will be totality of everything. Intermodal transportation, all of these things that the government is doing now. That is what will give us the development that we desire. So I want to urge our colleagues here, all of us, we should be in sync with one thing, and that is the fact that all the things that will increase the revenue of the nation, we all must come around together to speak with one voice irrespective of our party, which is what we are doing here. And I'm happy that this chamber, we are all in sync with the fact that we must just find a formula to increase our revenue. If our revenue is increased, we will not even need to be borrowing. And if we must borrow at all, it will be for a genuine reason for capital development, for infrastructural development. All the problem we are having in all the other sectors, whether it's education, whether it's health, whether it's even be it in all these social services related things. If you don't have money, we are no magician, you cannot give what you don't have. If the government doesn't have money that they will use to spend, that they will need to spend on all these sectors, then we'll just be chasing shadow and be saying the same thing. I am happy for one thing. When I look at this report, I realize that, of course, this committee has beamed their searchlight on all the MDAs that are generating revenue agencies, which is very good. We must not limit it to just saying, no, NNPC. No. We must ask ourselves, why is our mining sector not working? Why is our agricultural sector not working? And these are areas where, aside from what we generate, it will create huge employment. It will reduce, by extension, all the security implications that were negative implications that is happening throughout the length and breadth of this Nigeria. So, Mr. President, in supporting this, I am an incredible optimist, and I believe that Nigeria will be great. We are already on the path of greatness. All of us should play our part, and I'm happy with what we are doing here. So, Mr. President, in supporting this, again, I'm calling on all my colleagues. We should immediately make sure that we correct this production sharing contract with all our IOC. We should look into other areas, mining, agriculture. They are there, left on tap. Whatever infrastructure, whatever investment that we need to do, we must do. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senate Leader.